Okay, so this was an experimental thing. We built this timer previously, and it was a massive kerfuffle. Well, I just condensed it down to, technically, four by 4 and expandable. You can make this expandable in all directions, and you can add more timing points to it. But the way that it works now is we have all these inputs. This triggers pretty instantaneously, lighting them all up instantly, so there's a little bit of a weird delay. But right now, the difference is, so you can see this pulse repeater is on 30 seconds, this extender is 3 seconds, this pulse repeater is on 10 seconds, and this one's on 20. So what's happening is, this has no repeaters, so this one's redstone signal in, instantly going to trigger for 3 seconds, and output to number 1, turning number 1 on for 3 seconds. At the same time, this is going to start counting 10 seconds, and this one's going to count 20, and this one's going to start counting 30. After the 10 seconds, or 7 seconds, so this one will be on for 3 seconds, so one will be on, then it'll turn off, and there'll be 7 more seconds of delay, so you can adjust that accordingly. So you just change this one to whatever you need the time between activation 1 and activation 2. Then on activation 2, it goes into this and turns activation 2 on for 3 seconds. You might just need a pulse too. You might not actually need it to be powered the entire time. But that'll turn that one on for 3 seconds. And then upon completion, that means 13 seconds has passed. There's 7 more seconds, which happens to be the same gap from this one to this one. And then after that 7 seconds, it turns 2 back on for 3 seconds. And then 2 will turn off. And then during that entire time, you'll have 23 seconds that have gone by, leaving a gap of 7 seconds left for this one to turn it on for 3 more seconds. All done in a 4x4. With minimal redstone. Only 3 pieces of redstone. You could probably use cog blocks in those spots too. However, technically you don't even have to use cog blocks because you can just use redstone here. So, now to show it in action. Press 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm off my count. 1, 2, 3. And then 7 more seconds. And then it'll turn 2 back on for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And then 7 more seconds. Retriggering number 1. 1, 2, 3. So, for the example which this was designed for, 4x4 block, no pistons, using create, using very effective logic. 2s, 1s for activations. And these are all set to signal receive, so that way they'll trigger at the same time. Unlocking door. The example was a locking door that had contraption number 1, pull the locks across, out of the way. Contraption number 2, pulling the door open. Now, to reverse that, with this delayed system, contraption 2 triggers first, closing the door. Contraption 1 triggers, closing the lock. All done in a 4x4. I was actually kind of excited because I figured this out just a few moments ago. And I was like, this is actually relatively easy. And I'm using only 2 of those to trigger for my signal points. But if you added a 1 block space between these, so if you took this whole half and moved it over 1 block and added another cog in between, you can have your entry point for your redstone signal and it can do the same system, and you don't even need these wireless transmitters. And you can have two separate systems, so you can actually go to, if you just wanted to attach them without using the wireless, to make it easier. Because you can put this anywhere. So what I mean by that would be, we'll start with this one. So we put this here, set it to the 30, done. Grab this one, put it here, setting it to 3, and you can set these to whatever time frames you need. You put one there, that's the one. One. Put that there. This one to 3 seconds. Don't do that. Still leave that. So now they're separated by the one gap. So this can go to your 1, and this can go to your 2. Same concept, but now instead of using the wireless transmitters, we power up. Aww. Apparently it doesn't work the way I thought it did. I thought those can receive the signal from the bottom. Well, anyway. Turns on. 3 seconds. Turns off. 7 more seconds goes. Sends the signal. Oh, I might have messed something up. And sends the signal. Or did I just miss it? No. I did it right. I just missed it. And that's manually attached from one point. I still think the 4x4 is easier, but you could technically stack this on top too and be able to control it. But I thought that was neat. It might make it a little bit easier and a little bit tighter compactation. That's all.